Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are going to discuss neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is a reaction that takes place between an acid and base. And as the name indicates, neutralization, the word is derived from the word neutral. Well, in this reaction, the effect of acid as well as the effect of base is neutralized. That is why this reaction is called as neutralization reaction. It is a chemical reaction in which an acid and a base react with each other to form salt and water. Acids and the bases reacts together. When the acid react with base and the effect of both, that is acid and base, is neutralized, the reaction is called as neutralization reaction, and as a result of which salt and water is produced. For example, when HCl reacts with sodium hydroxide in aqueous medium, sodium chloride and water is produced. In this reaction, the hydrochloric acid taken is in aqueous form, whereas the sodium hydroxide also taken is in the aqueous form. As a result of which, aqueous sodium chloride is produced and liquid water is present in the medium. In the above equation, aqueous solution of both acid and base is used. We are going to discuss HCl aqueous reaction and sodium hydroxide aqueous reaction one by one. First of all, the sodium hydroxide. The 1 mole of sodium hydroxide, when dissociates, it produces sodium ion and the hydroxide ions. When 1 mole of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in the water, it produces sodium ion and the hydroxide ion, which are present in the aqueous medium or the water medium. Similarly, when 1 mole of HCl is dissolved in the water, when 1 mole of solution of HCl is prepared, and when that HCl is dissociated into that solution, it produces hydrogen ion and the chloride ion, which are present in that medium. When the two solutions are mixed together, a chemical reaction occurs between the chemical ions. And what are the chemical ions? The sodium ion, the hydroxide ion, the hydrogen ion, the chloride ion. These are the chemical ions which reacts together. That is hydrogen ion aqueous, chloride ion aqueous, sodium ion aqueous, and aqueous hydroxide ions. All of them reacts together and gives us one major product is water in the liquid state. Alongside water, sodium ion and the chloride ions are produced. As NaCl, as we have discussed in the above equation, that NaCl is a salt, and when that salt is present in water, similar salt is dissociated into sodium ion and the chloride ion. So, when all these ions, that is hydrogen chloride, sodium and hydroxide ions, reacts together, they will give us sodium chloride, and when that sodium chloride is present in the water, that sodium chloride too dissociate into sodium ion and the chloride ion. So, sodium and chloride ions also present in the ionic form. In this equation, as you can see, the sodium ions are present on the product side as well as on the reactant side. Similarly, the chloride ion is present on the reactant side as well as on the product side. Such ions which are present on the both sides of the arrow are called as spectator ions. And these ions, the only participant, these are the spectator ions. We are going to cancel out the spectator ions. What is left behind? The only participant in the reactions that is left behind are the hydrogen and the hydroxide ions. And when hydrogen and hydroxide ion reacts together, it will form the water molecule. As there are equal number of hydrogen and hydroxide ions in this reaction, and they are fully converted into the water, so overall reaction is considered as neutral reaction. If you recall your previous lecture, we discussed what is neutral solution. Neutral solution is a solution in which the hydrogen and hydroxide ions are equal in number. So similar is the fact here. The hydrogen and hydroxide ions are equal in number here. So the solution is neutral solution, and that is why the reaction is called as neutralization reaction. So we can define neutralization reaction as in aqueous solution. Neutralization reaction is the reaction of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion to form the water molecule. Such reactions are called as neutralization reactions, in which the end result is equal number of hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Thank you. Allah.